Creating a new recipe in Let's Get Cookin' is really simple. Simply hit the Create button, and then you'll just fill in all of the information that you have for your recipe. I'm going to create a new recipe for sugar cookies. You can catalog each one of your new recipes by putting it into a specific cookbook. You can choose a category for your recipe, and this one would be under cookies. And how you feel the work effort is for each recipe. And I do this one with my children all the time, so this one's easy. If you know the prep time and the cook time, you can go ahead and put those in. You can enter the number of servings that your recipe makes and the ingredients. And you'll notice once I start typing, the program automatically searches for something with the same letters that I just typed in. So in this case, it's a cup. I could just type in the letter C and go for the drop-down menu and find cup. There are also over 5,000 ingredients in the software, so once you start typing the first few letters, it'll help you find what you're looking for. If you have any extra information about this particular ingredient, you can enter it here. Once you have everything you need for this ingredient, just hit the check mark to enter it, and then move on to your next ingredient. As you're entering your ingredients, you can also simply hit the Tab key, and that will take you to your next field. The next field is simply where you'll type in the instructions for your recipe. If you have an image that goes along with some instructions, you can add your photo here simply by clicking on the File icon and then navigating through your computer to find your image. Now I have part of my instructions that says stir in the remaining flour and see the photo below. If you want to put tags on your recipe, you can. This would be useful for if you had, say, a diabetic recipe or a low-fat recipe. This one you might want to tag with a children's recipe. And finally, if you have the nutritional information, you can enter that here by simply clicking on the fields and then adding the information. Once you have all of your information in, just simply hit Save. And now you can find that recipe again by clicking on the book that you put it in, and there's your recipe. Simply double-click, and it'll open up for you. Once you have your recipe saved, if you're either going to make more or less than the original recipe, if you change this serving number, watch what happens to the quantity of the ingredients. As I increase the number, the quantity of my ingredients increases in order to adjust what you need to make just the right serving amount. The next feature I'd like to show you is under the Books tab. You can easily create different books to sort through your recipes. For example, you could create a book called Mom's Recipes or My Favorite Holiday Recipes. All you need to do is simply hit Create and then add the name of your book, Mom's Recipes. If you have an image for that recipe, you can put that here, and then all you need to do is hit Save, and there's your book. If you want to put an existing recipe in your new book, simply find your recipe. Here's the sugar cookies we just made, and we'll change this book to Mom's Recipes. Make sure you hit Save every time you make a change. In order to find a recipe that you've created, you can type in some keywords here in the Find a Recipe. And there are several different ways that you could find a recipe. If you click on this down arrow button, you can see that you can search in either the name, the instructions, tags, or all fields. So for example, if I click on Search in Tags and I type in the word children, I just started typing in the first 4 letters and it found my sugar cookies. So when you're creating your recipes, put in as many tags as you think you'll need in order to easily find your recipes later. You can also search by category or by work effort. Say you're looking for all of your easy recipes. Once you found the recipe you're looking for, just double-click and it opens up. When you're ready to print your recipe, you have a couple of options. If you have your recipe open here, you can simply hit Print, and it will print out a full sheet of paper with your recipe. You also have an option to print out a 4x6 card. In order to do that, you have to come back to the Recipes tab, find your recipe, and hit this checkbox. Now you can hit preview and print, and under the print option you can choose a 4x6 template to print your recipe on. This 4x6 template will open in Microsoft Word. The beauty of that is that you can then modify in Word the recipe. So if you're familiar with Word, you can easily add a background image or just change the fonts to whatever you like. Another fantastic feature that you can use right here in this window is the To Shop button. What this will do is for the recipe that you have checked, hit the To Shop button and it will add those ingredients to your shopping list. From here, you can either add or delete ingredients that you may or may not need in your shopping list. If you're making multiple recipes, you can click this Add button, find a new recipe, and it will add those ingredients to your shopping list as well. From here, once you have your full shopping list ready, simply hit Print, and it will print off this great shopping list with check boxes here on the side. You can edit and modify this list before you print it by simply adding other items you might need that have nothing to do with your recipe. Say you need toothpaste or laundry detergent. You can simply add those by adding a new item here. If you're making multiple batches of a recipe, you can highlight that recipe. Let's say I'm making 4 batches of cookies for my daughter's school. I would highlight the sugar cookie recipe, hit Edit, and I'm going to change the amount to 4. Now, all of my quantities have automatically quadrupled to make sure that I have just the right amount of ingredients to make 4 batches of sugar cookies. The last feature I'd like to go over is the video feature. You can select a category here, create a new one, soups, and then upload your video. Let's Get Cookin' also has this fabulous calendar feature. Let's say that I have an event for my daughter coming up and we need 4 batches of sugar cookies. I'm going to add my sugar cookie recipe, and it's for Taylor's kindergarten party, and that is going to happen on May 5th. I hit Save. It adds it to my calendar, and now when I'm ready, I can print my calendar and I'll have all of my upcoming event and recipes ready at my fingertips. And that's a quick overview of all of the features in this program. Now, let's get cooking.